For years, I thought an Apple Watch was all I needed. And I started getting more serious about endurance sports and found myself wearing 2 watches. And that should have been the first sign that something wasn't working. Eventually, I ditched the Apple Watch for a COROS, and I haven't looked back. If you're new here, hi, I'm Shannon. I am a full-time working mom with some pretty big endurance goals in extreme places. This means that my gear needs to go from hot and humid runs in Florida all the way up to snow-covered peaks in high altitude. In the video, I'm going to outline some of the pros and cons of staying with an Apple Watch as a runner or an endurance athlete versus switching over to something like COROS, why I switched, if I have any regrets, anything that I might miss from the Apple Watch, or the things that I've gained from having a sports-specific watch. So stay tuned, and you might be surprised by one of them. So we'll start with my formerly beloved Apple Watch. I've been in the Apple ecosystem for as long as I can remember, and when Apple Watch first came out, I was like, I gotta have it. When I first started running, this is what I wore. I actually did my first half marathon and my first marathon wearing my Apple Watch. I've been with this watch for a while. It took me a while to let it go. One of the pros to using an Apple Watch when I first started running was convenience. I owned this watch, I understood it. I was using the Nike Run Club app at the time. Low barrier to entry, which is great for beginner runners. For first-time runners, the Apple Watch is fantastic. It's also great for casual fitness, so maybe you're not someone who has big endurance goals. And there's lifestyle features that are built into this watch, which means that you've got messages, things that are really easy to respond to with this interface that are a lot more difficult with the COROS watch. But I did hit a bit of a turning point. I joined a run club and quickly found that some of the workouts that we were doing and the data that I needed to be aware of and the metrics that I needed to be aware of weren't easily accessible through this watch. It was suggested to me to try an inexpensive basic running watch, and that's when I picked up this COROS Pace 2. This model is a few years old at this point, so that I could really start to understand performance and see data-driven results. But that said, I continue to wear this watch during the day. I just couldn't give it up. I liked having my phone basically mirrored to my watch, and I wasn't ready to quite let that go. Whenever it was time for a run, the COROS went on, and whenever I got back, the Apple Watch went back on. It was super weird. But this one has to be charged significantly more than this watch. And this was the moment I realized I probably wasn't going back. I was having major battery anxiety. Having to charge the Apple Watch felt like a full-time job. It's also been fantastic not to have to worry about taking 2 sets of cords when I'm traveling. It's like a whole jumbled mess of cords that I have to remember to pack. You do not have to be tied to your charger all the time, which is huge. Another thing is I could not wear my Apple Watch when I went to sleep. I did want to start to track my overnight HRV and my sleep data. That was important to me as I got more into understanding data and the different ways that that played into my fitness. Couldn't sleep with the Apple Watch on because it would either die in the middle of the night, or I would wake up and it would be dead and I would need to charge it again. You're seeing a theme here. Charging. These watches will last a long time on a single charge. Already talking a little bit about it, so let's get into some of the pros of the COROS watch. And if you are enjoying this video so far, consider giving it a like. It is a free way to support my small channel. Another thing that I've really enjoyed about these watches is that they are just made for these types of activities in every way you can think of. The watch face in and of itself is meant for more active sports. So if you're sweating, water drips on the screen, it's not going to end your run like it has done for me with my Apple Watch. Yes, I have had a run end because a big drop of sweat landed on the screen and must have pressed a button. So I don't have that issue with these watches. They are built tough, and you kind of have to hold the button down to confirm if you're ending a run or if you're changing something. Also, y'all, I could do a whole video about the data in these watches. It's insane. There's just a plethora of stats and graphs and things for you to look through. So you're more aware. You're just going to be more aware of all the things that are affecting your training, everything that goes into getting ready for a run, and also recovery awareness. I find that with the COROS ecosystem, my training is more simplified. I understand what the outlook of my week is going to be, how it's playing into my performance, if I'm currently optimized or if I'm rebuilding, and the things that I need to do and how I need to keep myself in check. I also find a benefit is a little bit more confidence on long runs and workouts, things getting programmed and sent straight to my watch based off of my target zones, things that my watch and COROS has seen over time, where my fitness is. The workouts are updated according to that. setting alerts on pace zones. If I'm not going fast enough or if I'm going too fast, it's going to let me know to kind of dial it back. Something that I was not really able to do before on the Apple Watch, and this may have changed. I had an older Apple Watch. Maybe the Ultra does this now, was to be able to set interval runs. So to be able to go out there and do 800 meters, 400 meters. These workouts can be built into this, and it's also integrated into other apps like Training Peaks. So my coach would use Training Peaks, set the workouts, it would get automatically sent to my watch, pull up the calendar, pull up the workout, start the workout. Simplified, smart, leading to a lot more confidence and more accurate workouts, which I think just leads to a stronger athlete mindset. And we all love that, right? But there was one unexpected downside that I didn't see coming. It's messages. Getting the messages on the Apple Watch is akin to getting them on your phone. The UI is very crisp and clear. I'm familiar with it. It's fun. It's easy to respond to messages. It's a different experience on a sports watch. Let me just put it that way. They're using a little bit more of like a lower bit version, which is a big reason why the battery life is so good. So you have to kind of take the good with the bad on this one. Am I aware when I get a message? Yes. Can I read it half the time? No. So sometimes I do have to stop and kind of like take a closer look and see if it's something important. Am I responding to them on this watch? No, I'm not. That's why it took me a while to give you up. That is something to keep in mind if you are switching, if that's something that is very important to you, having your notifications coming through, being able to respond. I haven't tried that. You might be able to do that, but again, because it's not an Apple product, it's not integrated in the way that it would be if you had messages on your watch, messages in your phone to quickly respond or send an emoji or something or a thumbs up. But to be honest, sometimes I really question why I have these notifications being sent to my watch. I'm trying to wean myself off of getting notifications and constantly being available via my watch. To me, that's the job of my phone. When I'm out on a run though, I do like being able to get like a message from my daughter if that's the case. So I do have them turned on. I have a few apps like security things have turned on, so I will get them. I am using this more as a training tool with the occasional notification getting through. There is less screen distraction, which has been an unexpected benefit. And if we're talking about the pros, we're also going to talk about the drawbacks because yes, I have seen some. So as I mentioned before, I was really tied to the Apple ecosystem. I use an iPhone, I use a MacBook, I had an Apple Watch. This was the ecosystem that I was used to, and I really did like the seamless integration. This is why it took me so long to finally switch. And it is why I continue to wear the Apple Watch during the day and would only put on a sports watch when I did activities. So you're gonna lose a bit of that deep Apple ecosystem integration. Also, it's a bit of a less polished UI. The Apple Watch is very slick and it's got the same look and feel that most Apple products do. COROS and Garmin and the others, not so much. It's very kind of like sports specific, no frills, just something to be aware of. There's a bit of a learning curve, so it's going to take some time to get used to all the features that these watches have, all the things that they can do for you, not only the watch, but the app that is paired with the wearable. But I think it's fun. It's a whole new set of data that you can dig into and figure out what you care about now and maybe what you'll care about down the line. And the last thing I would say on the point of a drawback is it might not be for everyone. It may not be for the casual user. It's definitely more suited for running, road running, trail running, ultra distances, mountain sports, cycling, things like that. I have actually upgraded from the Pace 2 to the Apex 4, which is a fantastic watch. I was looking for something that was a bit more altitude friendly, honestly, to give me more readings when I'm going up to 14ers in Colorado or Washington and doing some more elevation. Again, even longer of a battery life on this guy, and it just feels a bit more meant for the sports that I want to do. I have finally made the switch. Apple Watch, we had some great years together. It took me a long time to quit you, but I'm glad that I finally did. Again, for the first couple of years, it was totally fine. The more I got into structured training, the more I found that I needed something that was a bit more sport specific. So the Apple Watch can be for you if you are someone who is more of a casual runner, casual fitness person. Maybe you will want to eventually upgrade to a COROS if you start taking running and the data a bit more seriously. You can totally get by on an Apple Watch for as long as you honestly want. But if you find yourself wanting to upgrade, I really do love the COROS. It's worked out really well for me and I would definitely recommend it. Have you made the switch from an Apple Watch to something different like a COROS or Garmin? Let me know in the comments below. Hope you found the video helpful. Give it a like if you did, and you might want to consider subscribing if you are also someone that's into endurance sports and gear reviews, because I'm going to continue doing both of those. But thanks for watching and happy running.